What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
Ladies and gentlecars.
We are back. Start your engines.
Back with another episode
Yes.
of The Has-Beens.
Episode 8?
Yeah, we're up there.
Did we confirm? Episode 8?
I did not.
Oh, that's all right. Anyway, I think it's episode 8. We're going to go with episode 8. We have a lot to talk about today. We've got some NFL, obviously NCAA tournament. With this weekend, we've got the men's and women's Final Four, so a lot to uncover there. And then a little bit on the NBA as we're nearing the end of the season. And then with baseball starting recently, we'll touch on a little bit of MLB. So without further ado, we'll probably do that in backwards order. With MLB season just starting up, not a whole lot of interesting has happened yet. So we'll go ahead and start with MLB. Yeah, so season's here. We already last week covered a little bit of the Shohei Ohtani controversy, if you want to call it controversy. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the first couple of weeks, Chet?
I'll touch on that Ohtani thing.
You want to go ahead and dive into that again?
You might as well, just because there is nothing has made really headlines since it was
kind of bogus,
first
right?
brought to the forefront. And I'm like, is there gonna be any reprimand for any of this,
Sure doesn't
what?
Seem like it.
So, I mean, a lot of other guys, as soon as stuff comes out, they are being put basically in timeout. You know, like you're getting suspended, you have time off, you're getting fined, some way or another. They are being reprimanded, and nothing has come out about this. Yes, they say it was his interpreter, but even usually before investigations are done, something is taking place. Mm-hmm. And for this to not have anything come about with it is just, I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't know. I'm surprised that nothing has come out, and I'm ready to find out kind of more details on this whole situation.
Yeah. To me, it's really frustrating. It's for somebody who wants to see them uphold the rules, make sure everybody's staying accountable. Like, that's a serious allegation. If somebody's betting on themselves, especially in this context of betting on themselves to underperform, that's a big deal. And it just seems like it's all getting swept under the rug, and we're just supposed to ignore that anything's even happening. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if anything else comes up. But it's just starting to seem like they're not going to do anything about it, and that really kind of bothers me.
Because there's a lot that comes with it. I mean, this is your largest contract in MLB history. Is that right? And when the paper's barely dry, or the ink's barely dry on the paper.
Yeah.
For this, and for something like this to happen, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy, because this could be, this is a major issue for baseball right now, and to be attached to the largest contract in MLB history is pretty wild.
Yeah. I don't know. Something to keep our eyes on, or keep listening for, to see if anything happens, but
yeah,
a lot.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what's going to come out about it.
Yeah. Anyway, so MLB in general, Cardinals definitely off to a rough start.
I'd say decent, I mean, they had a bad series against the Dodgers. Couldn't really come up with anything. Pitching struggled.
Yeah. Which we kind of knew was going to be a problem this year anyway.
You don't say.
Except, well, everybody knew except for Mosaic,
the people
which is,
that needed to know.
yeah, we need somebody
Or
else
neglected
running.
to
Like
know.
we need somebody else running this team. It's just getting out of hand at this point. I mean, how many seasons can you go just avoiding the blatantly obvious problem of the pitching's bad and then continuing to blame it on, or blame the lackluster play on something else?
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowing.
I mean, I'm interested to see what Sonny Gray has to offer when he comes back. I think that he's going to bring something to the table, but not...
Hopefully having a legitimate ace will help maybe take some of the pressure off the other guys. I don't
just
know.
hope it's not too late.
Right.
You know, he's not a young player anymore, but I hope it's not too late.
No.
But yeah, hey, Lance Lynn today. I mean, okay, so they go what 1-3 against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Take 2 from the Padres, so they're back to 3-4, and then they win today.
Yeah, today was home opener.
Home and opening day. Mm-hmm. Home opener.
Lance Lynn he actually looked good up until, like, what was it, the 5th or the 6th, where he started to give up runs?
Back it up a little bit. No, Lance Lynn had a Lance Lynn start. He had his notorious get to the 4th, see if we can get to the 4th.
He had like 7 or 8 Ks up
Couldn't get to
until
the 4th. Finally got to the 4th. Okay, so Lance Lynn, if he can get through the 5th inning, that's a good, I'd say, quality start from Lance Lynn. Mm-hmm. Now, Lance Lynn's mistakes are huge mistakes. He gives up more long balls.
I think, what was it, Jim Matson calls it? Is he called gopher balls or something?
I don't even know. I don't know. But he gives up, when his mistakes are made, they're home runs. Mm-hmm. Today he gave up 3 home runs, I want to say. He gave up, so he went 4 2/3 and gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs, like 3 walks, and I think he had 7 Ks. But his mistakes over the center of the plate,
Yeah.
and they're over the center of the plate for a guy that's not going to overpower anybody. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, major Lance Lynn start today. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But they did get the win. Offense provided. Ivan Herrera, first Major League home run.
Yeah. Mason Wynn had a triple today.
Mason Wynn with a little triple. Goldschmidt, couple hits.
That's going to be the only thing that saves us this season is our offense. If they can hit well, we'll be fine. We'll hover in contention.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's hard to win baseball games when you give up more than 4 runs.
Just like the Milwaukee Bucks, it's hard to win games when you give up 130 points.
That is true. There's 2 games.
Doc Rivers is terrible.
Ooh.
Chet.
We'll get there.
He's terrible.
We'll get there.
Sorry, I'm just a little animated.
Hang on to that anger.
It's
Gee
been
whiz.
gross.
You almost sound like me talking about the Bears.
We might as well be.
We could.
Have one of the best talents in the world. Well, the Bears don't exactly.
We could,
but
because no, we'll wait.
We'll get into it.
But yeah, after that Cardinal baseball, there's a couple other teams that are off the hot starts. You know, couple surprising, a couple. I mean, I don't want to say should haves, but a couple that were supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So our surprises for the early and much young season are the Tigers, who just lost their first game of the season. They were the last undefeated season, or the undefeated team to start the season.
Who's their stud pitcher. Their young stud. Is it Casey Mize?
I don't watch much. Mate, yeah.
Casey Mize.
He went to. He go to Clemson.
Couldn't tell you. I feel like I remember him being like their number one pick or something.
He was
a few years back.
He was, and he finally made it all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Good job. Wow.
Pulled that one out of nowhere.
Wow.
Has Paul Skeens come up? Or is he still...
I don't know if he made the opening day roster, but I do know that he absolutely shoved in spring training.
I'm excited about
He
Paul
shoved.
Skeens. He's going to be fun. Who...
He's got to stay healthy.
Did
Hopefully he
anybody
stays
from
healthy.
this last draft make it into an opening day roster? Like any of the big three, like Dylan Cruz, Max Clark. Max Clark was a Tigers pick, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
Got drafted by the Tigers.
I don't know.
He's
I
not up.
haven't
Jackson
paid.
Holiday didn't get it up. Or did not get called up. Yeah. Woo!
You heard it here first.
All right, moving on.
Another. Is there any other teams you want to talk about? If not, there is another MLB storyline that kind of broke today.
What?
The Oakland A's are leaving
I
Oakland.
did see that. So this is the last season in Oakland.
Yeah. Is it the last season? I
The
thought they
last
said
season.
2027.
2028. Did you? Okay, you want to bring the news up and you don't even know the news?
I just knew they're leaving Oakland.
Exactly. Everybody knew they were leaving Oakland.
I didn't.
So the news today was that this is the last season in Oakland. They will be in Las Vegas starting 2028.
Okay.
The seasons in between are going to be played in West Sacramento.
West Sacramento. Okay.
I don't even know what field is in West Sacramento.
Is there like a college team? Is this going to be like a Vikings thing where
I
they
don't
play
know.
at like U of M? Like
I don't know, but they're done. They're like, this is the last one in Oakland.
that's wild. Like I can't get a read on the Oakland A's.
Bad.
They're terrible.
I'll give you a read.
It's like
bad.
do they think moving is going to somehow fix their terrible management of the team?
I think it'll fix the income.
Well,
Who cares if you're bad? You just got to make money.
I guess. Does Vegas even care about a baseball team, though?
Did Vegas care about a football team?
Yes. The NFL is the biggest sport in the country.
I'm just saying.
It is one of the highest betted sports. Vegas loves football.
Okay, I mean, understandable. But I'm just like, Vegas clearly has the income.
I guess.
Do you think they were a hockey town?
No, but hockey was hot. Like, that's the thing, is like hockey was starting to gain popularity. I feel like baseball's just been on a decline.
Well, I mean, yes. Baseball has been on the decline. They have lost viewership, everything like that. That's why they've implemented all the rules.
Like, yeah.
But, again, going back to Vegas has the money,
Right.
and I think they'll be fine.
Fair enough. I don't know. It's just a question.
I don't even know what the new stadium's going to look like.
No.
Indoor, retractable roof, I don't know.
No clue. I mean, out there, you don't really worry
It doesn't
about
matter.
much rain or anything, so it's like,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't.
Either way,
worry
I think
about
it's gonna work
closing it
out.
off.
But, yeah, Oakland A's not going to fulfill their, I don't know, upcoming seasons in Oakland. This will be the last one. You know, for a baseball fan, it is kind of sad to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a...
There's a lot of history there.
I mean, there is. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of...
I mean, you
the
immediately
football
think...
team played on it, man.
Right.
Like, no other team had that.
Right. You think of the
So that
Oakland
was
A's, you
cool.
think of Moneyball, you think of Jason Giambi, you think of,
Billy Bean.
yeah, you think of Ricky Henderson, you think of, like, there's so many, Jose Canseco, like, there's so many big name players that came out of the Oakland A's. It's just going to be weird.
Because they used to be good.
Right. It's just a lot of history there, so it's weird to see that they're leaving. I don't know. Are they changing their name too, or are they just going to be the Vegas A's?
I don't know. I don't think they're going to change.
I would. I wonder if they're changing like color scheme or anything at all. I don't know. It'd be interesting if they're
Yet to
moving.
come.
You would almost think they'd go through an entire rebrand, but
Yeah.
who
I'm
knows?
sure.
Anyway, I think that there's not a ton to talk about with the MLB right now. So
It's just a young season, but like
Yeah.
the Tigers, that was surprising. Pirates are up there at the top of the leaderboard for now.
they're a feisty
And
team.
just being, I don't know, what is it, a week now?
Yeah.
A week into the season. A couple teams at the top of the standings that never kind of, in my mind, would be there to start the season.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you got the Yankees and the Dodgers. Yeah, to be expected, but they've actually played some pretty decent baseball.
Yeah. Who's
Who's bad?
Volpe is
For the Yankees.
the good up and comer for the
Yeah,
Yankees.
he's on the squad.
Okay.
Anthony
I am
Volpe.
not the baseball guy here, guys. I know limited things about the Cardinals. Chet is kind of the baseball pro here.
I'm the baseball has-been.
I just throw
No,
out
we're not
names
trying-
to
we're not-
make myself sound smart.
Yeah, okay, yeah, professional. I'm not the baseball professional. I'm the baseball has-been. This guy should know. It's kind of why we're here.
That's why we're here. We're a bunch of a couple has-beens.
But then,
Not a
like,
bunch.
there's a couple teams on here that I put that had a bad start to the season.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them I anticipated. One of them I did not.
So you're in.
The Athletics and the Rockies are bad.
Oh, dude, I got the Rockies mixed up with the Diamondbacks. I was sitting there thinking, like, but Corbin Carroll's good.
Oh,
and then I
dude.
was like, oh, wait, no, different team.
Definitely not a baseball has-been.
Told you guys.
And then the Marlins. The Marlins are off to an 0-8 start. That's tough.
It's a good thing it's a 162 game season.
I understand, but when you dig a hole, holes are hard to get out of.
Yeah.
So
Ask
you
Hector
better
Zeroni.
start doing something different down in Miami. I really thought the Cardinals were going to give it to him today. I'm not going to lie.
They tried.
5-run seventh inning.
We'll take it.
5-run seventh inning changed the whole outcome.
We will take it.
Yeah. So MLB, a lot to come. Long season. Stay strapped because there's more to come.
Yeah.
A lot more to come.
A lot more to come. Let's go ahead, and there's not a ton to talk about yet. We're just kind of getting into the end of the NBA season, so we're getting close to the playoffs. We'll obviously have a ton to cover there once the playoffs actually shape up. We know who's in, we know seeding, we know what's going to be going on with the play-in tournament and all that, which I got to say, I love the concept of the play-in tournament. I was really skeptical at first, like the first couple of years of doing it, but I actually really like that.
I mean, it's almost structured like the NCAA for the simple fact of, hey, man, you're playing to keep your season alive.
Right.
I know you do that at kind of throughout the season because you got to make top, what was it? Top
10.
of the division, you know?
It's top 10.
Now.
The bottom 4 are
Right.
play-in.
So, I mean, you really kind of give yourself a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're playing to make that, and so I mean, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the in-season tournament this year. It didn't do much for me, but I like the play-in. I do enjoy that. The East is so screwed up though. The Celtics are leading by like 11 or 12 games.
Dude, the East is locked.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who's in, who's out?
So the East is locked, and the play-in tournament teams are. There's only 2 in the play-in that are up for grabs, really. Like what they're going to be seeded. I mean, Indiana could drop down to the play-in. Miami could bump up. Philly's right there. Philly just beat Miami tonight, so that doesn't help. But yeah, the 7 and 8 seed, and it looks like 6, are still up for grabs. Actually, if somebody loses, like Orlando or New York loses, then those 7 and 8 seeds teams could bump up, but they got to win.
New York
Obviously.
just got some rough news.
Tough
Losing
news.
Julius Randle for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you got a playoff team right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna make a push, that's
this
a guy
was
you
their
need.
year to do it.
That's a guy you need too.
For the most part, the East is wide
that's a
open
hit.
this year. So it's
not. Boston's gonna win. We
no,
already talked about this. I've talked about this in the past.
They're good, but we have seen time and
They're
time.
winning.
We have seen time and time again that Jaylen Brown disappears in the playoffs. Jason Tatum can't play in the fourth quarter.
Somebody get this guy's mic.
I don't think it's as clear cut.
Somebody get this guy's mic, please.
Nope, I own it.
Either way, the East is locked up. They know the 10 teams that are going to be in it. So, Atlanta and Chicago scraping up that 9-10 spot.
Chicago is. I'd like to say Chicago's going to win, make it in to the actual playoffs, but I've also seen them have some very bad losses this year.
Yeah,
very
actually,
inopportune times.
A couple teams. It's good to see some of these teams in there, like Orlando and Cleveland.
Orlando's
up
fun.
In the 4 and 3 spot.
Orlando's a fun team.
Yeah,
I like
they
them
are
a
a lot of young guys. That's fun to watch. But like Toronto out, like that. That's interesting. I mean, I know they didn't really have a good team.
They
this year,
traded away their team, so
Yeah.
I mean, they were rebuilding, so it doesn't surprise me much there.
Oh, and then what do we got?
The West is where it gets wild.
So the West is close to being wrapped up too, because Houston went on that run. Like they won 8 games in a row.
Jalen Green. Sorry, Jalen different color. It was brown and green. Huh, that's funny, but Jalen Green has been playing out of his mind recently.
Yeah, they won those 8 games in a row, and they kind of made a statement coming up to Golden State in that 10 spot.
Yeah,
So that was.
Golden State's a rough team to watch this year. I tell you what,
They're so far back and forth on the spectrum.
it's tough.
Yeah.
They're fun. Like when they're playing well, they're a team you definitely need to watch out for. But that's when they're playing well.
So just looking at the East there, like I think that, like I personally think that nobody's gonna touch Boston. Like I truly don't think that Boston's gonna have any trouble.
It's a different time when you get into the actual playoffs.
I know, but now going to the West, I think the West is gonna be pretty fun to watch because you got Minnesota at the top, Denver at the top. They're both tied for number 1 right now.
Isn't it a 3-way tie with OKC?
OKC is right there too. Yeah, no, they're third. They've all clinched, but right now it's Minnesota.
I thought OKC was like leading.
They were for a while, but you forget they play almost every day.
That's true.
And you don't keep up with it every day.
That's fair. You're right. I don't.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, playoff time, we just we're still amongst the March Madness.
So who's making it out of the West, though? I want to know. You say Boston out of the East. Who's making it out of the West? Don't say Denver. You're going to say Denver. They're just not a fun team. I hate watching them play.
This guy hates watching good players.
I hate watching boring players.
Sometimes boring wins.
I don't care.
A lot of times,
All right,
boring
Pop.
wins.
It's like Greg Popovich speak there. That's gross.
When you're good, you win. You don't have to be flashy to win.
You know, I know in last episode I said Timberwolves, which I'm not fully writing them off. I think they're a good team. When everybody on that team is healthy, that's a great team. Anthony Edwards is worth the price of admission. And when you've got Gobert and Towns down low, it's tough. It's a tough matchup for anybody.
Yeah. Well, I think Anthony Edwards really made a statement during USA basketball. Mm-hmm. Like, that guy came out and played hard-nosed basketball.
Yeah.
And he proved a point.
That being said, though, I almost think the Clippers are going to come out of the West.
It very well could be. Very well could be because they have a lot of firepower. Mm-hmm. Like, if they have their whole mix doing what they can do, that's tough to stop. Yeah. Because I've seen Denver play really good, and I think they play really good team basketball. But then you also have the aspect of I've seen those guys play really bad.
Yeah.
And if you don't get any production out of any of your other bench players or anything like that for Denver, that's a problem.
That's the thing, though, is like with the East, I feel like everything is so far separated. Like, there's obviously these guys are good. These guys, not so much, but they made it. I feel like across the West, literally 1 through 10, any one of them could come out of this thing. I really think so. Like, there's so much.
I think there's just,
so many good teams spread through that entire. That entire thing.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that the West is going to be way more fun to watch.
Oh, definitely.
Than the East is.
So it's
going to be more competitive.
A lot more. But we'll get more into that once.
Still got a few more
actually
games.
Closer. We're almost there, but
a few more games to go.
We got a little bit. So do you want to keep the basketball trend, or do you want to pop over to football?
Jump
and
over
close
to football
out with
quick.
NCAA.
Yeah, jump over to football quick because it is really quick. Because there hasn't been much in the news about football. So there was one big blockbuster.
It is. It's a blockbuster. It's a big name player being moved. I would classify it as a blockbuster. And do you want to say?
Go ahead.
Tell us.
No, I just rambled on the last one.
You did. Okay.
And I don't really like the guy, so
I can't stand him. I have a first-hand account. Not a first-hand account, but
yeah, no.
He played for my team.
Yeah.
I think it counts. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure you all do if you pay attention to sports in the slightest. Stephon Diggs was just traded to the Houston Texans for, what was it? Second round pick and
for 2025?
Yeah. It was like a second round and like a fourth round. It was a few different picks. But still.
On the move. That's the main thing is he is on the move.
He is a Houston Texan. Which brings up two different things. What is Buffalo going to do at receiver?
Yeah, because that's
now
wide
they have
open.
Nothing. Because Gabe Davis is gone. Shakir is gone. And Diggs.
I don't know what they're going to do because they have a lot of openings in Buffalo. Like, they did not re-sign a whole bunch of their guys.
No. They cut 90% of their defense.
They cut a lot of defense. And it's like, oh, boy, what is going on in Buffalo?
Damar Hamlin's life has been saved twice.
Watch out because they are going to – those fans will burn that place down.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Crazy.
It's interesting to see what they're going to do.
Hey, Buffalo, you do realize the object of the game is to win.
Well,
They've won a lot of games, but they didn't win the ones that needed to be won.
Sean McDermott's also just not a good coach. He's in my opinion, he's been one of the main reasons they've lost the last few years. I think he's what's holding them back. I really do.
Sean McDermott, huh? You think he's the reason that they've lost? Or do you think the reason that they've lost is that they've played Patrick Mahomes? And every time,
obviously,
every postseason they play Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I get excited.
But no, I agree. The Chiefs are a great team, but there's been so many times where they've been close, and honestly, what the difference is their coach hasn't been able to close it for them. He's not made the correct call in the end. Because it's always a dogfight, back and forth game. There's always opportunities, and I feel like at the end of the day, it comes down to him.
So you're telling me they should have went for it?
Yes.
Should have went for it instead of kicking the field goal.
Yes. 1,000%.
They didn't know the overtime rules. Come some slack.
It's funny hearing that in your headphones, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so for Buffalo, it's weird. They don't have a ton in the draft to really go after any big receivers. I don't know. I don't know if they're targeting more trades or what. There's nothing really available in the free agency market, so it's just weird. They don't have a ton unless they're completely going to rely on Dalton Kincaid to catch everything. But
I mean, it's been done before.
Is he the reincarnation of
Travis Kelce?
But anyway, for the flip side of things, the Texans getting Diggs. Personally, I hate it.
Personally,
for the Texans.
I think that's dangerous.
You cannot deny how talented he is, but
it's dangerous.
The second he gets even the slightest bit unhappy, it is going to ruin everything in Houston.
This guy's a hater.
He is a cancer to any team he goes to.
This guy's a hater.
As a Vikings fan, I know. Why do you think we sent him to Buffalo?
This guy's a hater.
And we got Justin Jefferson in the end.
I think that the Houston Texans are going to be dangerous.
I'm not saying they're not going to be. I'm just saying as soon as something happens, it's not going to go well.
I mean, you just saw the season that they had, and then they add a lot in this offseason, and it's kind of like, we see you, Houston.
I think
we see you trying to get better.
What in your mind?
D'Amico Ryans making it work.
What in your mind was the bigger move for them? Was it Joe Mixon or was it Stephon Diggs?
Stephon Diggs.
Really?
100%.
You think?
100%.
Oof. I don't know. I would argue it's Mixon.
Do you think this blockbuster trade was blockbuster because of Buffalo or blockbuster because of Houston?
Huh?
You think the bigger pickup in this offseason for them was Joe Mixon?
Yes.
This was a blockbuster trade.
So was the Joe Mixon trade.
No, it was not.
It was a blockbuster. Getting Joe Mixon is a
big
huge
deal.
move for their running game.
Big deal.
They already had a phenomenal...
That dude's on my fantasy team every year.
They already had a phenomenal passing attack. They had a phenomenal passing game.
Tank Dell's hurt.
He'll be back. Dummy.
They just added to it.
I'm just I agree.
Dummy.
I'm not saying it's not a big move. I'm just saying adding Joe Mixon and improving your running game.
Yeah.
Where
you know what you just did with your passing game?
Added a guy who drops a lot of balls.
Sir drops a lot. No, I like it.
It's fine.
I wouldn't want to play him.
It's fine. But I don't know. I think he's going to be a locker room problem at some point, but we'll see.
I don't know. Huge.
All right, let's close this thing out with some NCAA.
Because it ain't over. Just because it's April doesn't mean March Madness is over.
No. That's the beauty of March Madness. March Madness carries beyond March. In case you didn't know.
Still basketball season. Can you believe that?
It is.
Yeah, so screw it. Let's start with the men's.
Okay. We're Final Four.
So we're down to Final Four. The Final Four.
The Final Four. It's what we all wait for.
Final Four, you got UConn, NC State, Purdue, and Alabama.
Yeah.
Go Huskies. They knocked out Illinois. Illinois looked absolutely terrible. Couldn't score a basketball. An overall 30-0 run. Open up the second half, 25-0 run by UConn. And now I know they're good,
I'll admit.
but you have to score the basketball.
I've been a hater. UConn is very good.
Yeah.
I've tried to deny it. They are. They're very
That's
good.
why I picked them to win a tournament.
I don't think they're going to win it.
They're going to win me money.
I don't think they're going to win it.
Not a whole lot of money.
I don't know. I keep feeling like things have just been going so well for them that surely at some point it has to go crashing down.
Nope.
And I'm sorry. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I think NC State's going to roll this thing out.
Oh my goodness.
They're just going to keep rolling, man.
Now, they've had a great run. This is where the run stops. They don't have an answer for Purdue.
Purdue is not that good. I'm sorry. They're not.
That's what everybody says.
They're not.
Then why are they where they are right now?
Because they got a big Gumby-looking boy in the middle.
Stop them.
Okay? DJ Burns at 350,000 pounds is going to put a body on
Big
it.
dog.
Let that boy eat. Have you seen they're starting to call him Gen Zebo?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. For those of you who don't know, he is Zach Randolph's cousin, and Zach Randolph's nickname was Zebo. So now they're calling him Gen Zebo.
Is he really Zach?
He's Zach Randolph's cousin. Mm-hmm.
You sure that?
Positive.
Sure.
You can Google it if you want to.
Google me.
You got your little googly machine over there. Go ahead. Look it up. Google me.
Nope. No, Purdue wins.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be
Purdue,
that.
UConn.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Purdue,
I really
UConn,
don't.
Watch out for Alabama.
Alabama is also sneakily good.
They play scrappy basketball.
I know firsthand. Because they wrecked my hopes and dreams.
Wouldn't be the first year.
You're right.
So,
when did Syracuse win last, Chet?
2003.
Okay, and U of I?
They've never won it.
You know when the Tar Heels won last?
I don't think I care.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
They beat Illinois in 2005.
They sure did. They sure did. Anyway, my favorite thing that happened from this entire tournament is still Kentucky losing. It just made my heart happy, you know? I was really disappointed because I actually did have Kentucky going pretty far, but nothing makes me happier than watching Kentucky lose.
John Calipari, man.
Greatest
John
recruiter
Calipari.
of all time. Terrible coach.
He's won a lot of basketball games.
Not the big ones.
A few.
A couple.
A few.
No.
Anyway,
Tomato.
Final Four coming up this weekend. The Huskies.
I was gonna say there's going to be. I think they're both going to be very good games.
I think they're gonna be fun
I
to
really
watch.
do. I as much of a hater of this entire tournament I have been, I genuinely think, after watching, I genuinely think the 4 best teams made it.
Wow.
I really do.
Wow. I'll let you have that.
I really think the 4 best teams made it.
I'll let you have that.
So
Switch it over.
we'll have a
There's
lot
your-
to talk about
Yeah.
next week
We'll bring
after
that up
that's
next
all
week.
done. But
But-
yeah,
We still got another Final Four to talk about real quick.
yes, we do. Women's basketball.
Which was awesome.
I was gonna say I
Like,
watched.
the Elite Eight,
I watched
Elite Eight.
the last 2 games of the Elite Eight.
Was
Iowa and
awesome.
Iowa and LSU. That was a great
That game lived up to the hype.
That was a great
major.
game. You mean even the USC and
UConn game.
was a
good.
great game.
Juju Watkins, legit.
She's
Paige
very
Beckers, legit.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That LSU Iowa game, I was hyped. I watched.
I watched the whole thing.
Call me a hater. I've never actually watched a full women's basketball game,
I did.
and that's on me. That's on me. But that was so much fun. I
mean,
enjoyed every minute of it.
Both of those last games were legit. They were legit.
Caitlin
So,
Clark is unbelievable.
She's unbelievable. Her teammates play well around that. It's not just. I mean, Caitlin Clark performs, but the rest of her team plays well too.
Yeah.
Gabby Marshall's good.
Everybody
that
on that
Martin
team
girl's
hustles.
good.
They all hustle.
Their big girl, number 45, she's good.
What's her?
I can't ever
Stolke
remember.
or something?
Yeah, Stolke.
Yeah.
Stolke. She's good. She's had a 40-point game this season.
We watched that one at Marshall's.
Yeah. It was jeez. Iowa doesn't. I mean, yes, Caitlin Clark does her thing. She scores her points, but the rest of the team,
Everybody else is
Produces.
always on. They
produce.
they do their job.
Yeah, they do their job. And then you go over to the LSU side, and they got some girls with some raw talent too.
I'm
the one that
kind of
impressed me is that Flau'jae Johnson.
Flau'jae Johnson, yeah.
She had multiple blocks that were legit, and just her hustle plays were awesome.
And
Awesome.
I'm not an Angel Reese fan.
No, but
she's tough.
But she's tough. She is gritty. She will play. She'll play amongst anybody.
Yeah. But
And not bad enough.
You know, for the first time in my life, I'm genuinely interested in the women's draft.
I mean,
Because that's coming up soon too. I'm genuinely curious who gets drafted. I think this class in particular
yeah.
is going to be huge for the WNBA.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got Cameron Brink coming out of Stanford. They got Caitlin Clark. They've got maybe Juju Watkins.
I don't know how they're.
I don't know what their structure is.
I don't say I don't know
they
if
gotta
they're
play a
allowed to
year
do
and
one
then-
and done or not.
Either way, but that Cameron Brink girl out of Stanford, that potentially Angel Reese, the Cordoso girl from South Carolina, she's a ton. Stop her.
And it's
she is a big girl to
Caitlin
stop.
Clark, Paige Beckers, they're going it'll be interesting. I'm genuinely curious.
I think Paige is coming back. Ain't
Is she?
I think she announced she was coming back for another year.
How does she get another year?
There's a lot of eligibility handed out in these last couple of years, buddy.
Well, that's what's weird though.
Injury,
because
COVID.
Her and Caitlin Clark were the same class.
But Beckers didn't play because she got hurt. Then your COVID year.
Yeah.
I think she already stated she's going back to UConn.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, South Carolina and North Carolina State.
I'll be honest, I don't really know much about either of them. I know Don Staley's the coach of South Carolina, and that's it.
And South Carolina hasn't lost a game all year.
Have they really not?
They're undefeated.
Oh, that's wild.
They're good.
It's going to be really unfortunate when they lose to Iowa.
I don't know. But, I mean, I'm excited. NC State's on a run on that side, too. Having the same school with men's and women's.
That's fun.
That's pretty
fun.
cool.
Well, it's like, I mean, UConn.
Same thing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the history of women's basketball in UConn is long.
Top tier.
Very long history. But it's like, it's wild that now the men's team is finally up into that upper echelon, too. So it's interesting.
We got two
great
good
for the
Final
school.
Fours. Yeah, great for the school. We got two great Final Fours heading your way this weekend. I'm taking Iowa and South Carolina.
Iowa, South Carolina. Okay.
For the men's side, I'm taking Purdue and UConn.
Yeah, just for the women's side, I would probably agree just because I don't know anything about the other side. I know I'm taking Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sure. I'll say Iowa and
And
South
then
Carolina.
for the championship, sorry, go. What's your men's take?
Men's, I'm gonna roll with it. I think UConn will get past Alabama. I do, but you know what? I am. I'm gonna take NC State.
He's taking him. So what does that mean? Championship wise.
Championship wise. If NC State makes it to the championship, they're not gonna lose in the championship.
Ooh. All right.
They've come too far.
Give me the girls.
Iowa.
I'm gonna agree on the Iowa.
I think
they're gonna get
Caitlin
it done
Clark
this year.
is the real deal.
I think they're gonna get it done this year.
I think it's gonna happen.
Team wise, I think they're gonna do it. So I'm taking Iowa, and I'm going UConn.
Obviously. Naturally. Well, you heard it here first. If you like our takes, make some bets. I'm not betting, but you can.
Let us know if you win.
Yeah. Then I'll feel bad about it. But
That's all
anyway,
I got.
Yeah. So we obviously we covered a lot in this episode. Let us know. Do you guys like the longer format where we actually really deep dive into stuff? I feel like our episodes have been fairly long recently, just kind of really getting deep into it. So it's like, do you guys want to hear longer episodes? Do you want shorter episodes? Like, you tell us. What do you want to hear? Maybe we can work on breaking it up a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of like the long format of really deep diving and giving you our true opinions on everything. And
That just gives us a chance to talk sports with each other.
yeah. So we hope you like it. If there's something you want us to do differently, let us know. If there's anything you want to hear our opinions on specifically, let us know that as well. We have finally gotten the TikTok page up and going, which is just in time for the potential TikTok ban, which we may never use TikTok again. Who knows? But
Bring back Vine.
for the time for the time being, find us on TikTok. We're going to work on getting more content out there. Everything I post on TikTok will go also to Instagram. I created a Facebook page. Don't bother with the Facebook page. I'm not going to use that much. But we will do the Instagram page. Yeah, find us on YouTube. If you have Spotify, find us on Spotify. Other than that,
We're around.
we're around. If you know us personally, shoot us a text. If you don't, comment on our stuff. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And with that, I'm Adam.
And I'm out.